not freaking listen to me. Look at this. You need to come around the edge every time.
Character building is important, but that's not the way we run the team. That's not what it's about. It's about W's. Whatever it takes to get a win, and that's what we're going to keep doing. That's what we're going to keep fighting for.
I have a tremendous amount of respect for the referees in this league, and I think they do a great job. But it's not the ref's job to determine the outcome of the game. It's the ref's job to officiate the game. When the referees start making calls that determine the outcome of the game, that's when we've got a problem, and I think we have a problem in the league right now. Oh, the coaching staff will not take the blame on that call. That young man simply made the bad decision out there on the field and nearly cost us the game. Cornerstone of our program is accountability. And you're going to be accountable for making the wrong decisions, and he's going to find out on Monday what that decision's cost him. In other sports, it's not very important, but in football, conditioning is extremely important to the game and important to these kids being able to stay healthy and stay in shape, and we work them real hard at that. And we're gonna put them through a hard week here, but it's ultimately to keep them healthy, keep them in the game. The last thing I want to see is an injury, a permanent injury maybe, that keeps a young man out of the NFL. But frankly, more importantly, keeps them out of the game here, and we can't afford to give up a W. We need them in the game. I try to tell our guys that there's 3 teams on the field. There's us, and there's obviously the visiting team, and there's this other team, and the other team's the referees. And you've got this group of guys that are they're not very athletic, they're not agile, they're in their 40s and 50s. They were cut from the JV team back when they were in middle school, and they're resentful. And they're trying to get a win. They're trying to get a win for themselves. So, we've got a last game there. We got 26, and the referees got 6. The referees got 6 for the other team.
That's just a myth for people who don't play football. Of course, we're thinking 4 or 5 weeks out. We're thinking about the championship. I'd be a bad coach if we wasted too much time preparing for our game Saturday. And we're playing an underperforming squad. They've got a beat-up offensive line. They've got the worst quarterback in the league. Why would we spend too much time preparing for them? We're running plays thinking for 3 weeks from now when we play GCU. So we're trying to get prepared for that game. And the next 2 games they're pretty much giveaways, and we're just going to take the easy W's on those and not waste any time. Oh, the fans are everything. The fans are integral to the organization. The fans are why we do this. The fans are the donors, the boosters, the 80,000 people in the stands every weekend that are rooting for us. Those aren't the folks I'm talking about. I'm talking about the spectators, the folks that are watching us on TV, basically using us for their entertainment. I do have a problem with that, and they're in a climate-controlled environment. They're flipping back and forth on their remote control, probably to other round ball sports, watching golf during the intermission. Those aren't the fans, and I do have a problem with those folks. I don't like to get involved with discipline off the field. What these guys do in their personal life, what they do on the university campus, that's their business. However, on the field or on the sideline, that's a different story. Before the game, we get pumped up. We get jacked up in that locker room. We're bouncing off the wall. So when we come out of there, we're aggressive, and things can get hot. So sometimes on the field, there's a skirmish, there's a fight, there's profanity. We take the technical. We're not going to argue too much with it. But I do talk to the guys, and I try to tell them that keep in mind where the refs are. If you're going to mouth off, if you're going to smart off, you're going to get in a sucker punch, just keep in mind, where the refs are located before you get into that kind of behavior. what we normally do in a giveaway game situation like this is, by the halftime we've got our second string in, and then in the third quarter, what we'll do is we'll bring the starters back in and start using it as an opportunity to test out some of our new formations and some of our trick plays, some of the stuff that we're not normally able to work on during practice. We don't have time, so we'll use this as just a fun kind of learning opportunity instead of an opportunity to run up a score or demoralize an opponent. When we're recruiting these young men and we're meeting with their families, we make it abundantly clear that academics are going to be the second priority in their collegiate development. We use academics to improve their football literacy. We use academics as a support structure to their understanding of the game and their development as a player. We use math, for instance, to help those guys understand the length of the field, how a penalty may set you back a certain amount of yards, how many yards you may need for a first down. So we spend a lot of time applying academics to the game, and when we're meeting with these families, we make it very clear, this is not something we try to brush aside, that academics are going to be part of their college experience. It's hard to describe game day in one word, but I'll make an attempt. You got to put it in context, right? One word as an opponent of ours would be humiliated. If I were describing us in one word, it would be hostility. One of our pregame rituals in the locker room, we jack each other up. I mean, we're grabbing on each other's pads, slinging guys against the locker, just banging off. I mean, it is intense. That is true. That's what I understand happened. There was an altercation in the parking lot after the game on Saturday between a couple of our fans and a couple of the opposing team's fans. From what I understand, our guys got the best of them. So, I appreciate them out there representing the team, getting a win in the parking lot, you know what I mean? And it is true that I did bail them out, and I did use personal funds for that. There was no university money involved in that. But I did promise them that I was going to get them some jerseys, and we'll get them some tickets to the next game. And I just really appreciate what they did out there representing the team and trying to get a W in the parking lot. It's not a secret what we're going to be running on defense. We've been doing it all year. We run the spider. We stack them 6 deep. We're going to bring 2 or 3 every time. We're going to get at their quarterback all night. We'll probably score more with our defense than they will with their offense, and I guarantee you we're coming away with a W.
All right, now we're going to talk about snap drills for tomorrow. We're going to do a few things different for tomorrow's game. First of all, we're going to do a count, staggered count, off count, triple count, trick count, whatever you want to call it. Listen to what we're going to do. Get it on the line, all right? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi. Hi! Tell the guys, football's got its own secrets, its own underlying language. It's like the Masons, there's the secrets of the trade that you got to know, and you only know if you've been doing football for a long period of time. For instance, just the language, just the stuff the ball's telling you, the messages. When you're taking a hike, exactly where you placed your finger. You see how that's cut out for me right there on that logo? That's not an accident. So that's what we're going to use when we're punting. That's a punter's grip right there, and you're going to use that every time. What you got here at the strings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8. That's a spider. That's the formation we use. So there's a lot of stuff the ball's just going to tell you, the white lines, where you don't want your hand. Don't put your hand on the white lines. Listen, John, you've been doing a terrible job broadcasting those passes. It's real clear where you're going to throw every time. You haven't been looking off the defender. Okay? So there's a few techniques to that. There's obviously you can look him off, you can pump fake in any direction. Also go to the other hand. Just go to the left. That'll throw him off. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pump left, go back right and get it in. You're too tense. You're too tense when you're dropping back. Okay? John, when you get the snap, the last thing you wanna do is kind of scramble back too fast like that. You want to take it nice and easy. You want to take the snap, you want to look down, you want to get your hands on the threads. So this is going to be a real casual step. It's a casual step, then a spring, okay? Let me tell you one more time. It's a casual step, then a spring, okay? Come on, guys. We got to do a better job at taking care of the ball. Last few games, we've had a few fumbles, more than I'd like to see, okay? So you got to take care of the ball. Listen, you're going to cradle that ball. Okay, when you get this ball, when you get a handoff, you need to cradle it with both hands and lean in, okay? Keep an eye on this ball. Think about this ball like you're starving and this is a loaf of bread. Think about this is all you got to eat. And you got to take this home to your whole family. Not just your mom and dad, but your cousins and your nephews and everybody. So you're going to take care of it like that. You're going to take care of this ball like it's the last thing you got in the world, okay? Listen, John. Your bootlegs haven't been clean. They're catching it every time. It's real obvious. It's because you're showing them the ball. You can't bootleg off and have the ball out front. The ball needs to be tucked in under the knee when you bootleg it off, okay?